Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. This season of Gold Rush has been quite the roller coaster for Rick Ness's comeback story. To sort out his personal affairs, the miner took a vacation from his work, starting from the ground up, assembling a workforce, living week to week worrying if he'll attain enough gold to pay the landlord, and working through equipment concerns. All in an effort to sustain his business. To finance this run, he sold his mother's house. It all boils down to a single gamble. Take a massive risk and return to Rally Valley, a location that presented him with both his greatest opportunities and his greatest obstacles. As the season nears completion, we caught up with Ness about all he has been through and what's to come. Rick Ness. I think we are both pretty busy people. We don't see each other very often, even though we are in the same spot on the Yukon. I hadn't seen Parker in a couple of years and saw him in the spring. It was nice to catch up and ease into something familiar. I started with less than when I had the first year on my own. It was tough, but also kind of nice because I had a plan when I left there. I didn't go back for 1 year, but I had left myself in great shape if I did return. I started with a couple of people and built it up. It was nice and less stressful on things in a way. It was about just getting the wheels turning. That ultimately helped the whole transition of getting back into it. It was going to work or it wasn't. I knew for a fact if it didn't work, I wasn't going back again. I can only bang my head against the wall so many times before I move along. It was get it done or get the hell gone this year. You assembled a unique and dedicated crew, which brings its own dynamic. There was a point where Buzz Legal was going through his issues. Talk about how you manage these situations where there may be a breakdown in these high-pressure situations. It's a unique situation to be in when something like that happens. Most people go through things like that. Either they have a family or someone else to go through it. Where we're at, we're all each other's has. For Buzz, there is no other outlet. I've been in that place myself. I like to think I'm pretty good in those situations, especially since I've been through a lot of them. With Buzz, it was about just letting him know if you need to talk. I'm here. Don't keep it in. Buzz was the big surprise for me this season. I really had my doubts. I really didn't think I would hire him. I told him this. I didn't know him and knew where he came from. He didn't have a good track history, so I didn't expect much. I needed help for a couple of weeks. I thought I would give him a shot. I was pleasantly surprised. He flat out worked and kept working and knows what has to be done. I had someone I could count on and trust that if I wasn't around, I would know it would be run the way I wanted it to. I don't know if he had been in a position like that before. So there are bound to be things he may do wrong, but it was more or less getting his confidence. He was doing things right that he thought were wrong a lot of times. We were arguing about where we would focus our attention. I don't mind pushback. He has an opinion, which he should because he is out here and doing it. I welcome the opinion, but at the end of the fucking day, I make that call. The thing was I knew that was where we would end our season. I knew the gold would be in there. The problem is I knew when we left it I was pretty much sure of what we could do with our infrastructure around it. The drilling was 205 feet to bedrock. That is so much farther than I have ever done. I did my best as far as plotting it out, knowing the deeper you go, you know you need to have roads there. We initially failed, despite my best efforts. I had never delved thus far. That was the main issue. I was aware that we would have to start over and perform extensive excavation and infrastructural work in order to re-enter the area. There isn't a lot of room there, so it wouldn't be simple even then. I knew it wouldn't be enjoyable, but I also knew in the end we would receive what we needed. I don't think we had the luxury of reaching our objective and calling the final few weeks gravy. For us, everything always comes down to the wire. Our greatest obstacle is the weather. You're left wondering if we'll succeed in reaching our objective. On certain days, we would really like to pack it up, but we are unable to. We have to persevere. The previous time we visited Rally Valley, the weather was predicted to be one of nighttime freezing and daytime thawing. High walls don't work well with that. It is undoubtedly risky. A wall had previously collapsed and driven us from the area. By season's conclusion, things get fairly hazardous. When the time comes to get everyone out, it's always not worth it anymore.